Bearwinger, Christian Fobb, Albert Baldwin. Thanks so much for joining us so quick. Um, as you join us, wherever you're joining us from, please let us know in the chat system, wherever you're watching, where you're joining from. I am coming to you from beautiful downtown San Francisco, California, and our stalwart host, Dr. Satya Malik, is coming to us from
San Diego, California.
And our illustrious guest, Mortaza Hassan, where are you coming to us from?
I'm coming from Lahore, Pakistan.
Right on. I see Steve from Toronto. How you doing, Steve? Another San Franciscanite here. Hello, Maine. Hello, India. Hello, Pakistan. Hello, Ukraine. Hello, Mexico.
The people who are writing on the chat, please respond to everybody so that everybody here gets to know where you're joining from.
If you're watching in Zoom, there's a little checkbox or a drop down to everyone or to hosts and panelists. Make sure that's set to everyone. That'll make sure everybody sees where you're coming from. We got Romania,
Colorado.
Texas, Colorado. Yes. Love to see it, folks. Good morning to the 10 of you watching on YouTube, the 3 of you watching on Twitter, and the 50 of you watching on LinkedIn so far, and the 42 of you here in Zoom. Got a little bit of stuff to talk about at the top of the show here, just a few minutes, but this is going to be a really exciting one. We're going to talk about the future of drones and AI with one of the experts in the field, and definitely a YouTube channel that I subscribe to. So it's always good when we have people on the show that I actually follow, before they're on the show. I always enjoy that.
Oh,
Hello, Los Angeles, Yokohama, Arizona, Nigeria, the moon. I don't believe you. Colorado again, more San Francisco, the United Kingdom. Yes, indeed. All right, boss, I think it's about time to get started. You ready?
Yeah, let's get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome to OpenCV Live. I'm Dr. Satya Malik, and I'm the CEO of OpenCV.org. Our guest this week is Mortaza Hassan, an educator and YouTube entrepreneur in the field of computer vision and robotics. You may best know him from his YouTube channel, Mortaza's Workshop, that has over 390,000 subscribers. Mortaza has deep experience in computer vision, robotics, and AI, and we are so excited to hear what he has to say on the future of drones and AI. But before we start the presentation, with me always is OpenCV's Director of Content and Creative, Phil Nelson. He organizes this show, and if anything goes wrong, it's his fault.
That's right. It's all about the boom. I am your co-host with the co-most, the second banana who is second to none. I'm also your plus one and only. It's Mr. Nelson. If you're nasty, but you, my dear friends, can call me Phil, and I'm here to remind you of a few things we do on every single episode of this show, the first of which is a giveaway to you in the audience. Later on in the episode, our guest has generously decided to give us 3 of their drone courses to give away. So stay tuned. Later in the episode, you will have 3 chances to win today, thanks to our generous guest. We're also taking questions from you in the audience, and we will do our best to answer them directly. Use the Zoom Q&A button at the bottom of the screen to ask your question at any time if you're watching on Zoom, or use the chat system wherever you're watching. I'm monitoring those, and I'll try to get to your question during the show. Back to you, Satya.
Well, so, welcome, Mortaza, and I'm pretty certain that a lot of people in the audience already follow your YouTube channel, and they would be very excited to hear from you. So let's get started. We have had people talk about drones. We have had people from the Drone Foundation, and it's great that way. But this is where the rubber meets the road, right? You are going to show us about how to get started with drone programming, etc. And we are going to be, that's a very exciting field for somebody who's not who doesn't know where to start, right? So welcome to the show. You can start by a little introduction if we missed out something, and then we'll go with the slides.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here. Thank you very much, Dr. Satya and Phil. I'm having a little bit of a sore throat, so you please bear with me. Hopefully it will get better as we go along. So today we are going to speak about the future of drones and how AI and drone will be getting together and it will lead us into the future. But before we do that, is it possible to do a poll? Can we?
Yeah, we can do a poll. Well, we've never actually done
we can
one.
do
What
a
do you
poll.
want to poll about?
Okay, so I have a simple question. There's a concept that if you have two eyes, then you can easily do depth perception, which means that you can tell how far an object is. Now, the question comes that if I close my one eye, or let's say if a person is blind from one eye, should they be able to drive or not? Should they get a driver's license or not? That's the question.
All right, I'm posting it now.
So a simple yes and no would do, I guess.
Yeah.
So the question I will repeat again, will a person who does not see from one eye, has only one eye to see from, should they be allowed a driver's license given that depth perception is perceived using two eyes? So I know our hosts, they know the answer. They don't want to say it, right? Or they do
Yeah.
want to say it.
Well, we'll after the poll is over, right? Most of
Yeah,
the people
Yeah.
appear to be saying yes, because I see
5,
almost 2-to-1
6,
yeses,
7,
right? More yeses.
2-to-1. Okay.
11, 12, 13. It's more than that, actually. It's like 3/4 yeses. Like, yeah.
3/4 yeses.
I see some people mentioning time of flight already, so it's
Right.
pretty good.
Time of flight?
Yeah,
What's that?
I'm not sure where that's coming from, but we'll find out. We'll find out. It seems like everyone's saying yes.
Everyone is saying yes. So that is actually right, because you don't, sorry, you don't actually need two eyes to do depth perception. You can do it from one eye as well. So this means that I can tell how far an object is even when my eyes are closed. One of my eyes are closed. So the question really is, especially when it comes to computer vision, the question is the software, because we don't need 8 cameras or we don't need 10 cameras on our car. Sorry. We just need one camera to actually do all the processing. The main thing is the software behind it. So if we have a good enough software, in theory, we should be able to have our self-driving car.
Right. Just to
Does
add
that
to
make
it,
sense?
yeah.
Yeah.
So just to add to it, first of all, depth perception is obviously better with two eyes, but you don't need two eyes for depth perception, because there are many cues. First of all, people who have one eye, they estimate depth using depth from focus, right? And it is not just one cue, right? You don't need two eyes. The amount of focus, the amount of effort it takes to focus on something gives you an estimate of the depth. But it's also through experience, right? All the AI models, they don't have this focusing mechanism, right? Because they are looking at a picture only. They don't have a mechanism to change the focal length, right? Like we do with our eyes when we change the focus, right? But they learn from experience, right? That this cup that is in front of me, it is at such and such distance, and therefore you can actually estimate the depth if it is not being fooled. You can easily fool with a single image. You can fool an AI model. You know, everything can be scaled. You can have a tiny house, a tiny car, and everything, and then you don't know what is the actual height. It would think that it is
forced
looking
perspective
at
is that's definitely a fun trick. Also,
Right.
But I
people
guess
use
you could fool.
their other senses as well. Will sound and even smell, right? You can tell if something's close to you if you can smell it or not, right? Like it's just kind of that sort of thing. Yeah.
But the same thing goes for humans as well. Like we could be fooled as well with the image, right? If the house is big or small. it's easy to fool
That's
us
a
as
fundamental
well.
ambiguity. That's a fundamental
Yeah,
ambiguity. There is no way to tell
exactly.
scale from a single image. But
From a single image.
if you're
Exactly.
in a traffic environment, obviously, and you're not trying to fool the system actively, then that's a different thing,
Yeah,
right? And you can estimate
exactly.
that.
Okay, great. So let's begin with our presentation. Can everyone see the presentation?
Yeah, it looks good. Shout out to the 140 viewers on LinkedIn right now and the 80 of them here in Zoom. We're getting close to the 300 barrier here. Hooray.
Oh, great.
So can we
Welcome, everyone. Welcome.
Can we pin the presentation so Mortaza is? I mean,
Oh
I
yeah,
tried.
definitely. You got it. There you go.
Well, so it doesn't show up on mine, but people who are watching, if you could go and pin the Mortaza's window, I think for each one of you, you'll have to do it individually. You will be able to see a big screen.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
I guess when I speak, they will be able to see.
No,
Is
it's
that it?
fine. I think right now, if the
How about
pin,
that? I hit spotlight. There's two ways to do it. There's pin and
Okay.
spotlight. Spotlight might have done it.
okay,
Okay, I hope everyone can see
Yeah.
now.
Now it's good. Now I don't need to pin.
Okay, good.
All right.
So don't look at the dot. I guess everybody is.
Too late. Too late. I failed already.
Too late. Okay, so today we will be talking about the future of AI and drones. So let's start with a video of Mark Rober. Now, you will not be able to hear this, but let me actually remove the audio because I can hear it too loud. So you won't be able to hear it, but I will explain what exactly is happening and what they are saying. So I hope everyone knows Mark Rober. He's one of the biggest YouTubers out there, and he does a lot with science and technology. So he's basically demonstrating that there is a company that actually delivers these packages directly to your home with a dart precision. So the similar way you throw a dart and there's accuracy, that accuracy is replicated here with these drones. So surely if Mark Rober is saying that this is the future of drones, then definitely it should be, right? And if we see that there's a lot of companies that are putting a lot of money and effort in developing these drones. So we have DHL, we have UPS, FedEx, Amazon. So a lot of big names are actually putting their effort to
Walmart as
develop
well
this
has like
AI.
some in-house tech that they're working on. The world's largest retailer, Walmart.
Yes, exactly. They do have it as well. So one might think that, okay, Mark Rober is saying, a lot of companies are saying, then definitely this is the future of drones and this is where we are headed, right? Actually, that's not true, at least in my opinion. You see, DHL and Amazon are one of the biggest players in this game. And recently, DHL completely shut down their drone facility after 8 years of research. And Amazon is basically in a decline, and a lot of rumors are there that their staff actually doesn't work on the drones. They just sit and enjoy time. I'm not sure if that is correct or wrong. So, but there are reports of that. So now the question comes.
Allegedly. We don't want to get
Yeah,
sued over
allegedly.
here.
Yes, allegedly. So the question comes that in the beginning, I'm saying the future of AI drones, and we are talking about the future of drones. And then on the first slide, I'm showing you something that it is a decline and people are actually shutting down. One of the biggest players are shutting down. So what exactly is happening here, right? So it's contradicting. So I will give you the answer by the end of this slide. So what we will do is we'll go step by step and try to understand along the way what actually is happening throughout right now. So I don't want to just give raw information of this is what this is doing, this is this company doing this. I mean, that's okay, but that's only news. So what we'll do is we'll start with a brief story, and then I will share a roadmap to learning AI, because nowadays a lot of people, they talk about AI, but when you ask them, they don't know where to begin. So I'm going to give you a small roadmap, which you can start right away, and it will be completely free. Then we will discuss about what are the basics of drones, and then we will look at how exactly can you program a small drone. Then we will look into the future of drone. And the last thing is a secret video that I will unveil at the end of this webinar.
Love it. We love secret
right?
videos.
Yeah.
Secret video.
Perfect.
Okay. So far, so good, right? Okay. So we will begin with the story. So the story is actually of myself. I would like to share this story because it is very crucial to my journey in computer vision. See, what happened was that I was back, this was back in 2012. I was in my university studying my bachelor's degree in mechatronics. A lot of people ask, where did I study? It was in University of Nottingham, their Malaysia campus. So I was studying back then, and somebody told me, or I came across this information, that images are made up of boxes. And these boxes, they contain some numbers inside them. Now, this was the first that I was hearing this. And when I heard this, I was surprised, I was shocked, and I was intrigued as well that I want to see this in action. So what I did was I went on to my computer, I zoomed in a picture, and while I could see some boxes there, I didn't see any numbers. So I went online, I researched how can I do that? And there was a software, you probably know MATLAB, which had a graphical interface which allowed you to zoom in until you saw the numbers. And that's what I did. So I went to MATLAB, I went to the university lab, and I zoomed in, and there I saw the numbers. And that was the first time I understood images, right? So that was really fascinating for me because I could really understand the concept behind 30p, 40p, or 720, because back then it wasn't, I think, HD. So we had these resolutions on YouTube. I understood how these images work, what are the colors of these, what is grayscale, and all of that just because of that viewing of this pixel with numbers. So then what I did, I got really fascinated with this. And I said, I'm going to do a computer vision project. My final year project has to be related to computer vision. So I started working on it. I created a robot arm. This is the complete video. Back then, I used to make videos as well, but I never posted them. This was the graphical interface of MATLAB. And this was the, what do you call, the OpenCV. No, back then I didn't use OpenCV. This was the color classification, basically red, blue, and green. In MATLAB. Yeah, they had this library that helped you and all of that. And here you can see the result. Now, the reason I'm sharing this story is because I myself got inspired from another content creator. His name is Sendex. Well, his channel is Sendex. His name is, I believe, Harrison Kensley, right? So it's a difficult name, that's why. And his YouTube channel is actually Sendex, so it's difficult to remember his name a little bit. So anyways, so I got inspired from his story, and that's why I'm sharing my story as well, that in hopes that anyone could maybe start their computer vision journey after this. So that was the basic idea.
Start to finish, how much time did you spend to get this thing working? 6 months?
So this took me around 3 months. I actually did it before the semester started, and I pitched it as a final year project.
Right.
I had already done it because I was so intrigued. I wanted to create it. And I had half of it was already done, the hardware part and the software part. And then I had to do just the written part. So most of the time, the last year, I spent helping my friends do their final year projects.
Nice.
Instead of focusing on my own.
When I was in school, I would do a similar trick, which is find out from the teacher what the reading was going to be, and then just read all the books at the beginning of the year. That was my.
It helps a lot. Yeah. So Anyways, fast forward 2019, I started my YouTube channel. Between that, I did a lot of different experiments with computer vision. I used to teach as a lecturer in one of the universities. We used to go for different robotics competitions. And over there, I was introduced to drone programming. And we had competitions: who can run the fastest drone around a path, who can run a robot around a path, who can solve the maze fastest. So we participated in a lot of different competitions. And that really gave me a lot of experience in terms of these technologies, especially within OpenCV. Now, then I thought, okay, I will put all of this together and start a YouTube channel. And again, in 2019, I started this, and I got a little bit greedy after 3-4 months. So I saw some traction. I saw that maybe around 1,015, 100 people have joined in. So I said, I want more subscribers. So that became my focus. So what I did was, I said, I will sit down and try to find one keyword which basically has something to do with all of my videos, right? One keyword that defines my complete channel. So this was the image that I saw back then. And these are the number of videos I had back then. So when I saw this and I examined each one of these, the only thing that I came up with was OpenCV, right? So that was the only keyword I could find that was directly related to my channel. Right. So here I would definitely like to thank OpenCV for creating such an amazing library and making it free. Because if I were the one making OpenCV, I might not have made it free, right? Well, I might have got greedy.
The credit goes to Gary Bradsky, actually, who's the founder of OpenCV.
Yes,
to have the
definitely.
foresight,
The
absolutely.
foresight 20 years back
Yes.
to make it open source and get it running for all these years. So
Definitely.
yeah,
A big thanks to
completely agree
him
with you.
and all the contributors as well who
Yeah.
have made this possible over the years. So once I found out that this is my keyword, I said, okay, I will go to YouTube. And that's what I did. I searched online for OpenCV. And I was shocked to see this. It was similar image that I saw, that none of the videos that came up were actual videos. So all of these were actually playlists. So I said to myself, why don't we have a single course with some projects in it? And maybe that will be something that will hit off, right? Take off. So that's what I did. I created this Learn OpenCV in 3 hours, and I had 9 chapters before. So these were the blue ones. These were the chapters. I put them together along with 3 projects, and it took off. So it actually got, till now, it has gotten 3 million plus views. So this basically tells you the trend of what people want, right? So this was, I call this a loophole, that you need to find a loophole and then you can move on and create something towards that, because that is what people want. If your video is getting more views, this means that is what the people want.
Yeah.
So I tried many different,
so one of the things that it's not very obvious, right? You have to experiment with some of these formats, because you had a 3-hour video.
Yes,
and,
exactly.
If somebody had told me that, okay, 3 years, 4 years back, that, 3-hour videos will be very, will get 3.1 million views, I would have just disregarded that, right? Because 3 hours is a long time, right?
It's a long time, right?
But that is precisely why you got these views, because it was, you covered quite a lot in those 3 hours, right?
So it's about the timing as well,
Yeah.
that if you get in at the right time with the right content. But the question comes, why am I telling you all of this? Why exactly are we discussing this loopholes and strategies? Because that actually tells you where the world is headed, what exactly is the trend, what people actually want. And because that is something that will go, we are talking about the future. So that is something that will be carried on in the future. So after this, what I did, I tried a lot of different things. I tried to find a lot of loopholes to see where the trend goes and how people react to that. And one of the videos that got even more successful than this was the drone programming course. So I did not actually anticipate this. I thought maybe it will be difficult for people to get the hardware. It will be difficult to connect. There will be a lot of issues here and there. But I had something that I had experience with that. So I thought, why not make a course and upload it? But when I see this, when I saw the success of this, I truly got inspired. And right away, I created another course related to drone programming as well. And that got a hit as well. So people really enjoy drone programming, not just because it is something you can implement in the real world, but because it is very good for education as well. A lot of the times when you are learning programming, it becomes a bit dry. So if you have something physical with it, like nowadays we have Blockly that lets you play with games and create these games, then it becomes very innovative and it becomes very, you would say, it's about instant gratification. So if you can see something happening from your effort, then you get motivated. So that's the basic idea.
If you can shorten that time, like shorten the time from when you do something to seeing, the results.
Seeing the result.
That's how you get people really engaged. Yeah.
Engaged, exactly. So that was the idea. That's why this course was so successful. That's why people love doing hardware and software together, because it makes it a fun activity. And later on, I will show you as well that now even there are complete institutes that are just teaching drone programming because it is so good for kids to get started with programming using drones. So we will share that later as well. So after this, I tried a lot of different things, a lot of different videos, a lot of courses. Some of them worked, some of the courses didn't work as well. For example, the Arduino course or the C++ OpenCV or the face attendance worked really well. Other courses like the interactive map course or the anti-spoofing didn't work as well. So this basically tells me where the world is headed, what people actually want. So that's why we focus more on that. So coming back to today, now I see a loophole again. So I see two loopholes. One is the AI course, and the other one is the drone programming with AI. And the reason I say this is because there's a lot of AI courses out there, but the problem is they focus mostly on the mathematical side, the neural nets, how to actually create the AI. But now AI is not about creating, it's about using. It's about putting it to the daily task so that it helps you as an assistant. So when I created my first AI, it was back in 2013. It was all about creating. So you use the neural nets, you create a face recognition model, face detection model, and so on. But now you don't have to create the model. You have to get the model, for example, ChatGPT, or even some of the free ones like Llama or Mistral. You can get those AI models and you can utilize them to your benefit. So that's what this course, or I would say that is what was missing. At least that's what I felt. So 5 days ago, we actually launched a course, which is AI for Everyone, which will teach you complete from the very start. In fact, if I have, no, I don't have it here. I have a complete checklist of what exactly is in the course, and you can check it out as you go along. And of course, it is free. It's on YouTube. And the other one is AI drone coding that I will discuss later on. We are going to launch it on Kickstarter after a few days. So this is the checklist of that course. Now, this is the roadmap to learning AI. So basically, first you will start with the introduction. We spent a lot of time creating animations to explain what exactly is AI to someone who has no knowledge of AI whatsoever. So there's introduction to AI, and we discuss some of the common terms that are used in the AI industry. We talk about prompt engineering, how effectively you can talk with AI, because if you can't explain what you need, you will not get what you want, right? It's called garbage in, garbage out. So if what you tell is garbage, you are going to get garbage out. Then we discuss about CPU.
It's true in many fields, whether you're cooking or building drones. Garbage in, garbage out.
Garbage out, exactly. So then we have a discussion of CPU, GPU, online, offline, how to install, and there's a complete section of how you can do this without coding. So you don't have to code, you can do it without coding as well. But of course, when you are coding, we have a section for that. We have a graphical interface, how do you create these? And then we have 15 apps. Some of them include a caption generator. You send in an image, it will generate a caption for you. Then we have an adult content detector. It will tell you if the image that you uploaded is appropriate or not. We have background remover, PDF sorters, lots of different apps to get you started up and running with the AI field. And of course,
I have this joke.
sorry.
I have this joke that if you really want that adult content technology to take off, you should build a categorization instead of. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
That was a
yeah.
joke that I had.
Okay,
It's a
So,
joke, but it's true.
it's true. So yeah, there's also the training part where you will be able to train your own model as well. And then how do you deploy it so that you can give access to people? And all of that is covered. And these are some of the stats. We launched it 5 days ago. We have over 2,000 enrollments. Again, it's free. There's no charge. And the course rating so far is 99.7% positive. Total time, it's 12-hour course. I know it's a bit lengthy. Like you were saying, 3-hour courses are lengthy, but now we have 12-hour courses, right?
So it's a single video, 12 hours?
Yes, it's a single video, 12 hours with
Wow.
all the categorization, everything
Yeah.
within a single video.
Nice.
So, but of course, we have
used to be
categorized chapters.
That used to be a lot, but nowadays on YouTube, I mean, I watched a 3.5 hour review about the video game Doom from Tim Rogers. Like that's totally normal nowadays. Yeah.
Yeah, that happens. And I've seen a live session of 12 hours. I don't know how people go through 12
Yeah, it was
hours of live
Yeah, they're
session.
going for a
Yeah.
record. Holy cow, man.
I'm not sure. And the watch time so far in these 5 days is about 1,800, which is equivalent to watching about 900 movies, right? So that's a lot.
And that
So
that
people are
video,
following
little
through.
inside baseball on YouTube. If I can butt in for a second, that in order to become a YouTube partner, you need I think 3,000 watch hours. Is that what it is per year? So like that one video,
Yeah.
that one video basically got you more than halfway if you weren't already a partner. Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, that's true. So these are some of the users uploading their progress. So this is the checklist. You just tick it as you move along. And there is one person who has completed the course as well in 5 days. I don't know how they did it.
Wow.
They said they will repeat it again. I guess they binge watched it and then they want to try it with the coding part. That's the idea. Anyways, so our Kickstarter will be 50% off for our AI drone course, but we will discuss that later on. Let's talk about what exactly is a drone. So we get a little bit of perspective of what exactly we're talking about, and then we will move on to where the future is headed. Because in the beginning, we discussed that Amazon has shut down and not Amazon, DHL has shut down and Amazon is pretty much on the way of shutting down, allegedly, right?
Allegedly.
Okay, so what exactly is a drone? A drone, by definition, if you look at that, it's a continuously low humming sound, which is a weird thing to say, but that is what it is. That's
And
where we are.
a very popular genre of music among programmers, in fact.
Yes, that's
It's a
true.
real thing. Shout out to Soma FM for the Drone Zone channel. Go check that out. Soma FM.
Soma FM. Okay. So so what exactly is a drone? We have a flying unarmed vehicle that is basically flying, and we have lots of different types of these. Right now, we have a few listings here. We have a quadcopter, we have a hexacopter, and octocopter. If you have done high school maths, pretty much you can tell why these are named this way. This has 4 propellers, this has 6, and this has 8. So that's the basic idea of this. So then we will move on to what exactly are the components of a drone. So we have frame, we have motors, we have propellers, ESC, flight controller, battery, receiver, and all of this. So what we will do is we will look into these very briefly, and then we'll move on to the coding part. So the frame itself is what holds everything together. It can be of carbon fiber, wood, or even 3D printed. But the most successful one so far is the carbon fiber because it is quite sturdy and it is lightweight.
And less likely to bend over time as well. There's many
Yes.
benefits. It's also unfortunately considerably more expensive than wood or
More
3D
expensive.
printing.
A lot of these squash rackets and tennis rackets, they are now made with this carbon fiber because earlier they used to make it with wood. That was very difficult. Earlier, I mean like maybe 1960s, 70s, not recently. But now they make it with carbon fiber. Anyways, moving on, we have motors. So we have brushed motors and brushless motors. Brush motors are cheap. You can find it in cheap drones. Brushless, they are more expensive. They use AC signal instead of DC, and they have a better weight to power ratio. It means that you will have better efficiency overall when you're using brushless. That's why most drones, they use brushless motors. Then we have propellers. Propellers, 2 of them, they will move in one direction and the other 2 will move in the opposite direction. And this is because they will cancel each other out. If all of them were moving in the same direction, then the drone would actually start rotating in that direction. So that's not what we want, right? Then we have electric motor controller, ESC. This is what gives the power to the motors, and the flight controller decides how much power to give to the motors based on all the sensor calculations and whatnot. So that's basically the brain of the drone. Then a few more components. We have the battery, receiver, camera, and video transmitter. The video transmitter will transmit the video, the camera will supply the video, the receiver will be at the remote control end where you will receive the video or the signals. And then we have the battery, which actually allows you to power your drone. Very basic stuff that we have. Then we have drone programming. So how exactly can you program a drone? Now, there are 2 types of drone that I like to categorize this category in. The first one is DIY hobby style. So what you do is you create your model and you can attach different motors, you can attach different controllers, different batteries, and it is basically a do-it-yourself kit, a DIY project that you can do, and you can even 3D print and assemble it all and so on. The other category, I like to call it plug and play. So basically you buy it off the shelf and you just start by pressing the button and that's it. Now you can start programming. So if you are a beginner, then definitely this is much more better for you that you buy something off the shelf and you get up and running before you go into the more advanced stuff. So let's actually compare a bit of these so that we understand which is better for which. Now, for drone programming, if you are doing with the DIY kit, then there is a steep learning curve. You will have to learn about how to assemble the drone. And not only that, you will have to write your own software along with all the calculations and the tuning. The tuning parameters are a great deal for flying the drones. So you might have heard of PID and other techniques that you actually have to spend a lot more time tuning the drone rather than actually creating it. So there's a very steep learning curve, but if you ask me, this is the best way to learn. If you want to learn everything from start, this is the best way to get started because it is flexible. You will pretty much learn everything as you go along the way. Then it is suitable for outdoor. It is not a safe drone. You cannot use it. I haven't seen a small drone that is suitable for indoor environment that is safe as the off-the-shelf drones. Then we have difficulty for education. So it is a bit difficult to get started because you will get very weird errors and very weird problems when you
Right.
are creating your own drone, right? So back in 2014, I created a CNC machine, and the big mistake I did, I wanted to make it as big as possible. So that's what I did. I created it, I believe 1.5 meters long and
Okay.
then half a meter wide. And that
Wow,
was
that
the
is
big
you
mistake
weren't you
because,
weren't kidding.
yeah, I wasn't kidding, right? So I used the same motors that you would use for a small CNC, but then the result was not very good. So the idea is that when you do something DIY, you learn along the way. So
Yeah.
don't expect that you will be able to run right off and everything will be, you can say, happily ever after, right? So you
How
have
many
to.
drones have you lost while learning these things? Fly
we have
away.
broken we
Yeah.
have broken a lot. In fact, I flew one of the drones in our university that I was allowed to fly. This was the DJI. I can't remember. It can carry, I believe, 30 kgs. So it
Wow.
was a huge drone.
Right.
And what we did, we emptied the football field
Yeah.
and we said, okay, now we will tie up it with a rope. And
Right.
then one person will just hold the rope and I will be driving it and looking at the results, because students, they will gather, right?
Yeah.
They don't know
Of
what's going
course.
on. They think that you are an expert in everything.
Right.
So they will gather, and it was so scary. I would actually sweat while flying it off.
You're
So
like,
you
don't,
flew
yeah,
it like
don't.
a kite.
You're like, don't cut
Yeah.
anybody up. Don't cut anybody
Yeah.
up.
Because that is actually very somebody could get really
Yeah.
hurt from that drone. It's very difficult to handle that situation. Anyways,
Yeah.
So
moving
one of my
on.
favorite movies, it's October Sky. And in that,
Yeah,
they were building rockets, high school kids.
right.
And that also, there was always this possibility of somebody getting hurt. So it's an interesting movie. Sure.
Okay, I haven't watched it. I will definitely check it out.
October Sky.
Okay, so moving on, we have the other type, which is off the shelf. So off the shelf, you can get a drone and you can get it up and running. It's basically plug and play. You set up it with an app, and then you can control it with Python. You can control it with Android SDKs. There's a lot of flexibility when it comes to coding because a lot of it has been already done for you. But where it lacks is the flexibility. So you don't know what exactly is going on inside. What are the controller? What are the parameters? Even the specifications of it, you might not know if the company is not actually telling you.
Mhm.
So that part is, you can say, a little less flexible, but it is indoor. It is safe. So this drone, I have crashed on my face as well. So hopefully nothing happened.
Just
So
getting to
You should
you
have
like to
You should
you
have
like to
used
know
the
the parts
OpenCV face
intimately.
detector
Yeah, there you go.
yeah,
that you teach in the courses.
yeah. So well, when you are testing it out,
Yeah.
things happen, right?
Right, right.
So the good thing is it's safe, and as soon as it hits you, it actually stops and you don't get hit a lot. Especially they have a rail, they have a plastic rail around it, and it's safe. It's not a big deal. And it is very easy to set up for education. You can have, for example, 10 students with 10 different drones, and they can have a competition. They can do it for learning and all of that good
Or
stuff,
they can run them into each other's faces.
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Okay, so it seems my connection is not good. It's not loading the image properly.
But
But
it's
is
visible.
it readable?
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
readable.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fine.
So this is what I want to show you, how easy it is to get started with programming with drones. So there's a very good library by the name DJI Telopy. Thanks to all the contributors and the creators of this library who made it so easy for us to get up and running. So literally with 1, 2, and 3 lines of code, I can have my drone running. I can have it connected and I can see its stats. So all you do is
is it a
import it.
DJI supported one, or is it a community
No,
effort?
no, this is a community developed one. It's
Yeah.
a little bit, I would say it's a wrapper. So it's a bit easier to get working with.
Got it.
Yeah. So then you can see you simply write tello.tello, you call the class, you create an object, and you run that method of connect. That's it.
Yeah.
That's how simple it is to get it up and running. Now, if you wanted to fly it, you would say move forward. I mean, can it be more simple than this?
Right.
Move forward, and then how much do you want to move forward? 30 centimeters. So all of the numbers, they are in centimeters. So they are mentioning that you move forward 30 centimeters. Same way you can say move backwards, flip, dance, not dance, but you can do a lot of these things. Maybe you can create that method of dance and it will do something, right? It will be fun to see. Anyways, so this is the basic idea. And then you also have the coding part where you control the speed rather than the actual value. Because let's say you were following a line. So you will not say move 1 centimeter, move 1 centimeter, move 1 centimeter, right? You would say take a constant speed. When you have to turn, change the speed a little bit, change, add to that speed, change, things like that, right? So that's called the RC control in this library. And you can basically change the speed of forward and backwards, up and down, left and right, and the rotation. So you can control 4 of these speeds, and that's pretty much all you need. So that's how simple it is. So this code takes off. You can write takeoff to take off. It moves at a speed of 50 for 2 seconds and then lands. That's it. That's how simple it is to get started with drone programming. Now, if you want to learn this,
you didn't even have to mention what is the height of takeoff. There are some good default values.
yes, yes, there is a sensor at the bottom that actually checks how far you are from the ground, and they have a default value of how far to lift off when you take off.
Okay.
So if you wanted to go further, you can write go up, and then you give in the value 10 centimeters, 5 centimeters, and so on.
Got it.
So that's how simple it is. Now, if you want to learn more about this, actually, let me show you the example first. So here we have a couple of examples. This is keyboard control for surveillance. The drone is taking off, and then we are able to control it with a keyboard. So I press forward, it goes forward, left, it goes left. So as you can see, I can do some surveillance, I can take photos, I can record a video, and then I can bring it back home. So that's the idea of the keyboard control. Then we have the face tracking, in which it's not colliding with my face, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
It means it's working. So here you can see it's detecting the face, and then it's keeping a fixed distance so that it is safe as well.
So
Okay,
this
so-
processing, the face detection, etc., that you're
Yeah.
doing on the computer, right? And you're sending
Yes.
signal back to the drone to do whatever needs to be done, right?
Yes. So
Okay.
this is the good thing about this drone. So if you were to take, let's say, an AI model, and if you wanted to embed it to this drone, then the cost of this drone will get very expensive.
Yeah.
So you would need, like, even a VR right now, if you want good amount of screen, you want good amount of computation, it gets more expensive, like
Yeah.
the Apple Vision Pro, right?
Right.
So this is the trade-off, that this drone does not process anything on the drone itself, apart from how to move around.
Yeah.
What it does, it sends signal through Wi-Fi, and
Yeah.
your computer actually does the processing. So that's why this drone, I believe it's $99.
Yeah, it's
So it's
99
very
US
cheap.
right now.
What's the latency on this thing? When
The latency
yeah.
is actually very low. If your Wi-Fi is good, you won't actually feel it. And there are a couple of methods where you can reduce this by adding a thread. So you have separate threads running separate processes. So
Okay.
that's why you will have a better response.
Mhm.
So that's one of the ways. Anyways, so these are the two projects, and then we have another two projects. Again, all of these are done with the same library, with the same drone, using those same commands. It's just that we added some Python code along with it, along with OpenCV code, which allowed us to do this. So
Nice.
it has a camera on top of it. Now,
Yeah.
the good thing is the camera, if you look at the drone, in fact, if I have the drone,
It's wild to me that these are just $99. I can't believe it.
yeah, exactly. It's so cheap. So the drone itself, you can see, this is the drone. So the drone itself, you can see, has a camera in the front that
Mm.
looks forward, right?
Mhm.
But if you look at the line following, it's pointing down. So
Right.
how is it looking down? So that's the magic of 3D printing. So you can see we have a 3D printed part here, which has a glass attached here,
Oh, nice.
A mirror.
a mirror,
Yeah.
a mirror, yeah. So,
Right.
and it's looking down.
Yeah.
So again, we are using OpenCV with that. And this is simple image processing.
Right.
No AI, no fancy programming, just some contours, some area detection, and trying to figure out, if you have worked with line following robots, it's very similar to that, where you have like 5 sensors and
Yeah.
you check which one is on and which one is off.
Right.
So the line following works in a similar manner. So it divides it up into regions, which are white, which are black. And
Yeah.
based on that, it says this part is on, this part is off, and so
Right.
on.
Right.
So it is quite interesting.
I mean, a simple application here, especially for educational application, you could add April tags on the ground, right? So that it
Aruco
goes,
markers,
Yes.
something.
Aruco markers, yeah.
Yeah.
So that it goes and says, oh, I'm at number 1, number 2, number 3. So I'm at the right path, and it goes, follows some trajectory
Like,
and comes back.
hey, drone,
Exactly.
go bother Mortaza. Just go over to the QR code next to
Exactly.
your desk.
So that way, the thing with that kind of approach is that, you will not you can have arbitrary path without much work, right? You could have these
Yeah.
patches, right? You could have these squares. You just put the squares in arbitrary order, and if it is not
Yeah.
an impossible path, then the drone can follow.
Yes, exactly. So
Great
in
demo.
fact, there are 2 versions of this drone. The one that I have right now is the EDU version, and
Mhm.
it comes with something like this. It
Oh,
comes
okay.
with these pads, which you
Okay.
can place on the floor,
Oh, nice.
and
Okay.
they have some program that actually detects that, and you can have a fixed path. Okay, try to find that, and then go left, go right. Specifically for high school, or I would say middle school students.
Yeah.
It's a great way to get started.
Right.
So these are some of the projects that you can make as well right away, because all of this is for free. You can go and get started. Just write drone programming, and then this video will show up. It's a 3-hour course, and you can see how lucky I got here. 333. If I had only one more
One more
3,
3.
yeah, this
Love
one
it.
more 3.
So did you
If I
realize it
knew
later?
this beforehand,
Yeah.
yeah, I realized it later. Somebody actually commented that, and I was
Right.
like, oh, if I had known, I would have made it 333.
Nice.
And a bonus, we have 3 years now.
Okay.
So anyways, so it's free for everyone. You can go ahead, and it is using OpenCV. It's free to use, and you can get started right away. And the good thing is that this drone is so widely available that you can pretty much get it from your local hardware or electronic stores. Nowadays, it's very easy to find these.
Right.
But
Which
a lot
in
of people
US they
ask
call it
me
Amazon.
about
Well, yeah, these days.
Amazon.
Because
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time I had gone to any of the. Actually, I've been there. I've been to Best Buy in the last 1 year, but
Yeah, but you
very
you live out in the burbs though. Like in the
Yeah.
city, we've got Cole Hardware here in San Francisco. I wish they had
Okay.
drones. I should suggest it.
Yeah. So that's the good thing about this, that you
Yeah.
can actually get it very easily and get started right away without, well, you will have to pay for the drone. not without paying anything, but yeah. So now let's go on to the future. What exactly is the future? Because we discussed earlier that drones are failing, and then we had a discussion of roughly 1 hour that how to use drones. So that doesn't make any sense, right? So we will make sense of it in a short while. Okay. So the future, what exactly do I personally think is going to happen? First of all, AI is going to the drones. So drones now will have to decide what exactly is happening in the environment. Like we use our LLM models, we use our diffusion models. They are able to, not the diffusion model, but other models that can basically tell you the semantics of the given environment. So once we have the AI running on our drone, it can classify, it can detect objects, it can tell the situation, then we will be able to take advantage of it a lot more. And that's already happening. And that is one of the things we are teaching in our new Kickstarter course, how to add AI to the drone so that you can leverage that capability. And imagine you have an AI, what do you call, personal assistant that actually hovers around you and follows you around, and you just give them the task to do. They set it up, and it will be quite futuristic to see that.
Quick question. In the course, you're using the same drone that you had shown, right? So the AI would be running on the machine.
The Tello.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And that it has
So
an Intel
simplifies
CPU in
things
there.
quite a bit,
It has
yeah.
an Intel CPU by my
Yes.
understanding. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. So the idea is that mostly it's about the educational part.
Yeah.
But when it comes to implementation, then of course you can take the bigger drones and use the same code. The
Yeah.
only code that you need to change is how do you communicate with the drone. So
Right.
the one that we saw earlier, me.connect.tello, how do you do that with the other drone?
Right.
So that's why I say that pretty much 80 to 90% of the course is about drones, not the Tello drone. It's about how to program drones rather than the Tello drone. So why did we say in the beginning that this is not a good idea for drones to move around, and they are shutting down their facilities? Big companies like DHL and Amazon, they are shutting down. Why did we say that? Because they are focusing on the delivery part. Now, delivery is a very challenging task because not everyone has a backyard where you can just throw something, right? People live in buildings, people live in small homes, and there's a lot of region where it's not allowed to fly at all, right?
Yeah.
Especially within the cities, when you have some confidential areas or where there's a lot of air traffic, it's not actually allowed to fly.
Yeah, you can.
So
you can get in
delivery,
very, very big trouble. for
big
doing
trouble.
that.
Yeah. So if you want delivery to be happening worldwide and throughout the country, then you need pretty much access to the whole country. You can't just pick and place that, okay, I want to do it in this city and not that city. Because when you take the average, there was a survey in which they asked people, do you want your delivery to be 1 day and expensive, or do you want it to be cheaper, but you will wait 2 days? So most of the people, more than 80% of the people said, we don't want it right away. We will want the cheaper option, and we will want it after 2 days, right? And even in my case, if you ask me, I would pretty much 90% of the time, I would say I would wait another day. And I will get the cheaper option. So these drones, they are not that cheap to right now to fly, and getting these permits is a very difficult task, especially in a country like US or UK where laws are very strict, right?
Yeah.
So that's why it is becoming more and more difficult for these companies to get these delivery drones up and running. But that's not the end of the world, right? So what else can we do apart from delivery? That's the main question. So there we have the answer.
And for some people, it may be, I get my package and the drone for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the
would you like
bigger-
to add a drone
Yeah.
to your order? Yeah.
Yeah. You know, there are so many issues, like the noise itself is a big issue.
Yeah.
The drones, they make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
So when some drone is delivering in the
And the
neighborhood,
bigger the motor, the more noise.
yeah, exactly. And then there's an issue of perfection. What you need to drop off is perfection, because you cannot hit a person, you cannot hit a car, you cannot just throw it in maybe a garbage bin or
Yeah.
even in the bushes, right?
Right.
You need
And
near
there's
perfection
there's
to
also
drop.
animals out there that may be interested in the drone and
Exactly.
come
Yeah.
up and
Yeah, or maybe in the package, when it's dropped off, the animals might be interested in the package
It
to
depends on
check
how
what's,
much.
maybe
Maybe you
it's for
got
them.
a big shipment of smoked meats, yeah.
Yeah. So, so as you see, there's a lot of issues. So what we can do is, a few of the examples are rescue, surveillance, agriculture, emergency delivery, high-speed chase, and education. So what we will do is we will have a brief look at each one
One
of
other
these
important
and
one, I
examples.
think, you could
Yeah.
add to the list is inspection. So some like windmills, etc., they are very difficult to, and even bridges, etc., they're extremely
Yes.
difficult to inspect. And right now, humans, they either climb or they are
It's
hung
dangerous.
through helicopters and things like that.
Exactly.
And that is an important one.
I guess that would come in the surveillance part.
Surveillance.
So
Okay.
yeah, if you are roaming around looking for
Yeah.
something. So let's talk about rescue. So I'm pretty sure everyone has watched Iron Man 1. This was back in 2008. So this is the scene from that movie where he got lost, he flew, and he dropped out in the desert, and he's nowhere to be found. So how did he get found? Using a helicopter, right? So they had a rescue operation. They actually flew the helicopter here and there to find the person missing. So the same thing could be done with a drone with much less cost. And the similar concept, if you are saying that this is fictional, there's a movie by the name 127 Hours. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah, that is
No.
a very tense
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, it is difficult to watch, I would say. So the movie was that a person, he gets stuck in one of the mountain regions, and he
He was
didn't
rock
have any
climbing and
signals.
yeah.
And his arm got stuck. Now, I will not spoil it for you if you want to watch it, but the idea was that then they couldn't find him, and he had to rescue himself out of there. How he did it, you can watch the movie. But if we had a drone, it might have been easier to find someone who is missing, specifically in these areas where it's difficult to take a car or even a helicopter. So that is one of the aspects of drones. The other one is surveillance. It might be of a big house. If you are rich, you have acres of land, then yeah, you can have it as a surveillance drone. The other surveillance goes where you can find out where exactly is a fire when you see some smoke. Sometimes there are power cuts in these power lines, and you have to find where exactly the transmission got cut. So all these things can come under the surveillance part, and you can have specific, you can say you can get permissions for that to fly in that region, especially in oil rigs and companies that do milling and drilling of these crude oil. They have huge facilities, and when something goes wrong, it can be difficult for them to find out where exactly is the leak and how to get to that as quickly as possible.
Same with farming, and golf courses is another one where they care a lot about the quality of the grass, etc. And if let's say a sprinkler, etc., has gone bad, and the grass is drying, etc., you can miss out these things
You can,
easily,
yeah.
and in a couple
Also,
of days.
national parks and parks
Yes.
here in the city, like Golden Gate Park, especially if, like in California, they're susceptible to wildfires. Like these kinds of things are really, really important for mitigating the damage
Exactly.
those types of events can cause.
Yes, a lot of applications when it comes to surveillance. Then we also have agriculture, where, as Dr. Satya mentioned, that you can surveil the region, you can check where exactly is the crop yielding better, where are some of the problems, and if there is a fire or if an animal is moving around. All of these things you can basically do it with a drone, and then you can have fixed regions and fixed timings that the drone flies out, checks, comes back, reports, charges, goes out again, comes back, and it's basically an infinite loop, you can say. Then we have the emergency delivery. Let me turn off the volume because... Okay, so then we have the emergency drone, and this is why Mark Rober was suggesting that this might be the future of drones, because they have implemented this in some rural areas. So if you see here, I believe this is Uganda, and they have this drone. This is a company called Zipline. This is a drone that actually supplies medical supplies. So, and it can take off in 90 seconds. So when there is an emergency delivery request, till it starts flying, there's a delay of only 90 seconds. That's how fast it can be. They have a very good facility. They are expanding a lot. And the way it works is that they actually pull it back and they let it fly. And it goes so fast that if you were, they actually showed this in the video. By the way, it's a very good video. You should go check that out. They showed in the video that it took Mark Rober 4.5 hours to travel the same distance that this drone took only 10 minutes. So it can supply the medical supplies very quickly in these rural areas. So when it comes to emergency deliveries, then I believe it is more acceptable than I need my PS controller very fast, or I need it now, right? Compared to that.
Those
Yeah, yeah.
2x XP weekends don't come every weekend, man. Sometimes you just need a controller right now.
And it's also the perfect one, right? First of all, it's an emergency, so you need it, right? And these areas, rural areas where emergency services are difficult to reach, they are also the ones which have less obstruction, right? There could be fields and things like that, right? So it's perfect.
For a drone, it's easier to fly around these areas compared to a city.
Yeah,
definitely. And this is an example of how it throws the package and it bounces off and then it goes back, and they actually have to catch it using a zip line.
Oh wow, because it's so fast.
Which is quite, it's so fast. So they don't have a landing algorithm or a landing proper wheels or something like that. You have to catch it with a zip line and you have to pull it back.
Very interesting.
That's why
so
it's
there's a
called
lot of
zip
trial
line.
and error. Yeah, zip line. Probably, probably. Then we have high speed chase. So you can have imagine a police chase. Now we don't have a lot of these here, but I believe there's a lot in US. So there are
very dangerous
high speed chase. Yeah. So what happens is that it's difficult to follow along the car that has been detected, but it might go away somehow. So what you can do is you can fly a drone. It can lock that car or whatever. It can go under the bridge. It can go in weird places, and then it can keep following and giving the exact location. And in some cases, it could even throw something which could interfere with the wheels to bring the car to a halt.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
And
that is
several
one of the
times,
examples.
you know, not only this, I mean, for police, but also for journalists. So they fly these helicopters when they have this high-speed chase going on. So it becomes very dangerous because you can actually
get
there
hurt.
have been
it has happened that they've crashed. Yeah.
Exactly.
And you're correct that in the US, I was just reading a story about this not long ago, that I think something like over 7,000 people have been injured in police pursuits that weren't involved in the US in the last 20 years. It's not that many, but
20 years.
but still, like it's
still a lot.
Those were just innocent bystanders. Those were just people that police put into danger by doing these chases sometimes. So yeah,
definitely. So then we have the education part. So while we have all these, what do you call it, agriculture, surveillance, rescue examples. The best one, I believe, to get started with is the educational part, that it really makes the programming part very intuitive and very engaging, so that engineers and students, they get involved right away in this arena. So if you program, or if you program without any hardware, it's not as fun as if you do it with any hardware, for example, a drone. So I will share a video later on that will show this in action, where they have an institute and students are programming, they're having a good time, and so on. In fact, I also did a community post around 2 weeks back to check if people actually prefer learning programming through drones. And you can see 81% said it's more engaging, 13% said kind of, and 6% said no, we should stick to basic programming. So as you can see, there's a lot of potential in education as well. Okay, so now I believe is the time for the video, and I cannot play it here, unfortunately. So if Phil, if you can play it, if I can send you the link and you can play it.
You got it.
Okay. So let me see, how can I send you here?
You just post it in the chat here, that's fine.
So this video is actually our Kickstarter video. So we haven't really shown this a lot. It will be launching very soon, but because you have stuck around with us a lot, and we are going to give you a special sneak peek of our course. So this course is basically about embedding AI with drones. And this will be launching very soon, in a few days. So I believe you have the link. Yeah,
Let me
if you
pull it
could
up
play
and
that.
I'll go ahead and share. Yep, you got it.
And after that, we can have the Q&A.
Mm-hmm. All right, I am sharing it now.
So you may have to remove the spotlight.
Yep. Okay.
Which tool are you
So-
using, Mortaza, for streaming? The one that's removing your background and putting...
It's OBS.
Is this, can people see this?
Did you hear me? It's OBS.
It's
Okay.
the tool's
It-
name
he's
is
just
not
using
obvious,
OB.
right?
He's just using OBS.
No, it's
OBS.
OBS.
Okay.
Open
Okay.
broadcasting, yeah.
Okay.
All right, can everybody
All right.
see this? I'm gonna go ahead and hit play. Yeah? Okay.
Thanks.
3 years ago, I found a loophole in YouTube. When I looked for videos teaching how to program drones, I did not find any course that covered the basics along with some projects. So I decided to make my own course and put it on YouTube. Now, to my surprise, it became the most popular drone programming course on YouTube. And with time, it became the top search result on Google as well. Seeing how much people liked the first course, I made a more advanced version of this. This new course taught more up-to-date topics like making drones recognize faces, understanding hand gestures, and following body movements. People from all around the world loved it, and this became my top-selling course on Stevie's own platform, reaching people in over 80 different countries.
Wow.
Now, you might think that the smart move here would be to make another drone course to earn more money, but I did not want to make a new course just for that reason. So for the next 2 years, I did not make any new drone courses. But now things are changing. With all the new advancements happening in artificial intelligence, I realized it was time for another advanced course dedicated to this topic. So I'm making a brand new course about drone programming with artificial intelligence. This means I will teach you how to make drones smarter, like being able to spot different objects, fly through obstacles, and do real-world tasks, and even fly in groups with other drones. This course will include exciting projects that focus on practical challenges such as navigating through an obstacle course to test precision and control, developing solutions to quickly detect fire in a simulated city environment, employing AI to accurately count the number of cars crossing a road, and programming multiple drones to create a drone show. These projects are designed to provide hands-on experience with real-world applications, enhancing your skills in drone programming and AI technology. Since conceptual learning is becoming more popular in many high schools and universities, these institutes are now adding drone programming into their curriculum. This is done to improve the learning process. This trend has gained so much attention that it has been featured on different news channels. There are even specialized institutes dedicated solely to teaching drone programming. Whether you are learning on your own or you're part of an educational institute, I will teach you everything you need to get started with AI drone programming. There are 3 versions of this course. The first version is the AI Drone Basics. Here you will learn to build your own AI models and deploy them to the drone using the correct programming techniques. The second version, the AI Drone Advanced, takes you deeper into the subject with more complex projects. It focuses on real-world applications and navigating obstacle courses with drones. The third version is the AI Drone Educator. This package comes with a teaching license and written material to support the learning process as well, making it easier to integrate this into any existing curriculum. Each version of this course is tailored to meet different needs and levels of expertise, ensuring that everyone from learners to educational institutes can find the perfect fit for their drone programming education journey. With all the AI courses, you will get the free version of the YouTube drone programming course without any ads. If you are starting from the very basics, we recommend to go for the full pack that includes previous YouTube course and the paid advanced course and the complete AI course at a big discounted price. I'm very thankful to all the backers of my previous Kickstarter campaign, Computer Vision Web Development, that raised $36,000 last year. I hope you will support this campaign to help it come to life. All the packages are offered at a 50% off exclusively for Kickstarter. So if you are interested in this topic of the future, then this is the right time to get on board. If you'd like to support the project without any backing, then please do consider sharing it with your projects to help spread the word. Thank you for your support, and I will see you in the course.
That's a very well-made video.
Yeah,
Thank you.
looks good. We've made a few where I wouldn't. I mean, I think we count as experts at this point, eh? Like in terms of
Right.
yeah,
Definitely.
no, well,
But
very well
this is a
done.
very good, well-made video.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank
Definitely.
you. So
Especially
that's the
for
basic idea, that getting AI and drones together
Yeah.
to actually implement them with real world applications.
for beginners as well as for, I think, high school students. This could be very, very useful.
Yeah, I think my
Definitely.
nephews might be interested in this. I'm looking forward to talking with them about it later.
So when does the
Great.
Kickstarter campaign launch?
So it will be within this month. So we are fixing the date yet. We haven't
Okay.
fixed the date yet. So hopefully within this month. Yeah.
All right. I'm looking
Yeah,
forward
tremendous.
to it. And I think,
Thank you.
I'm probably going to do this for my kids as well. I'll
Yeah.
buy one of those drones and go to your YouTube free video, free YouTube course, and at least get started. And then when this thing happens, right, we can
Definitely. The first thing is to get that video, because it actually tells you a lot. So
Yeah.
there's no need to go for the AI right away. So
Right.
you have to learn the basics first, and
Yeah.
then you move on to the more advanced stuff.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
makes
Yeah,
sense to me. I think now is a great time to do our giveaway. We've got 3 giveaways today. Would you like to tell people what our winners will get today, Mortaza?
So let me actually share the screen and let me show you the course itself. So we are giving away our previous course that is paid, the Computer Vision Drone Programming course. So it has a lot more techniques, some advanced techniques that will show you how to do face tracking, body tracking, how to do gesture control. So for example, if I do this, it should do a certain task. For example, it can flip or do something else. So you can pretty much create games out of this and have challenges for students to try out. So that was the basic idea behind creating this course. So if you can see, this is the advanced drone programming course. I'm not sure what's going on with my net. So yeah, so this is the basic idea. You will learn how to detect different poses. You will learn how to create a selfie drone, body following. Then basically it is following your complete body. Then face following, there's a easy version, you would say a normal face detection. And then there is some advanced face detection, which can detect from the side as well. Then you will learn how to implement PID control, which is very important. And not only that, we have a library by the name CV Zone that allows you to plot these PID response as well. So it's very intuitive to see how well your PID actually performs. So you can fine tune it to get better results. So that's the basic idea of this course. And it is, I believe it is the #1 selling course on our platform at this point, till this point. Yeah.
Awesome.
So you will be
Sounds great.
getting 3 of these. So I believe Phil will tell you how exactly can you get those.
That's right.
So are we going to ask 3 questions, or is it?
Do you think we should take the first 3 correct answers, or do you think we should ask 3 questions? I've got 3 questions.
Let's do 3 questions.
All right, let's do it. Okay,
And
so
of course, if you win the first, don't answer the second.
yes. So if you're just joining us for the first time, or you need a reminder, one of the things we do on this show every single episode is give away something to you in the audience. Our illustrious guest is going to give away 3 copies of the drone coding course that we just talked about there. And I'm going to ask 3 trivia questions to you in the audience in Zoom. The first person to answer each question correctly will win one of those courses. Because this is a special one, I think I'm going to remove the restriction. If you've won in the last couple months, feel free to answer. But if you win the first one or the second one, do not answer the third one. I think that's only fair. So get ready to answer here in the Zoom chat.
Do you mind if I say something?
Oh yeah, please do.
Yeah, just one more thing. Is the screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Yes, we can spotlight.
Yeah. So if you want to follow the Kickstarter, you can go to our website, which is computervision.zone, and you can click on the Kickstarter page. So that will open up the Kickstarter, and you can simply click on notify me on launch.
Excellent.
So that you can get notified when the course launches.
Yeah, go ahead
And
and
feel
share
free
that link
to-
in the chat.
Yeah, feel free to
Yeah, I will.
in the chat.
Okay, so get ready to answer. Earlier in the presentation, we saw a video from a famous YouTuber demonstrating a drone delivery system. What was that YouTuber's first and last name?
All right.
All right, first up, right out of the box, we got Jordan. Jordan was correct. The answer we're looking for there was Mark Rober. I think most people probably know him from the Glitter Bomb YouTube videos that he's done, where he had set up some bait packages and had
My
folks
kids are
that
hooked
were
to his
stealing.
channel.
Yeah, he makes a lot of really cool stuff. He's got the resources that guy has access to is also just kind of nuts. Like everybody knows him, so yeah, pretty awesome.
Right.
So the answer there was Mark
The
Rober. Congratulations,
the funny
Jordan.
thing is, we have Mark Roper, we have Mark Grober. So it's close enough.
Yeah, congratulations. So Jordan, please send one email to phil@opencv.org and we will make sure that you get that course. Question number 2. How long did it take Mortaza to build his robot arm at university?
Oh,
wow, Richard, man, you
Okay.
didn't even let me finish.
but the unit is missing.
I think we got to go who answered
Okay.
correctly. Jean-Luc. Jean-Luc was the first one to say 3 months. 3 months was the correct answer there. Congratulations, Jean-Luc. Please send one email to phil@opencv.org and we will make sure that you get that. One more. Uh, what was the first course video that Mortaza posted on YouTube? What was the name of that video? I got him this time. There has
You
to be
know,
at least one.
those
Y'all
are
are
some
making me
good questions.
y'all are
Yeah.
making me look bad in the first couple. They get too in my head. I think that we've done too many of these shows. There we go. We got Derek Van Frosum.
Oh,
Derek's
almost. Eddie
correctly.
almost got it, but
Yeah. Uh, Yeah, the misspelling, penmanship counts, Eddie. I'm sorry. Derek was correctly answered. Learn OpenCV in 3 hours. That was the first video course that Mortaza posted on YouTube. So congratulations to all three of our winners, and thanks so much to our guest for providing this today's prize. We love it when that happens. We love when that happens. Derek says thanks, autocorrect. Yeah. We've got a bunch of questions here. I mean, we're pushing up on a half hour over our time, but I think we should grab a couple questions
Oh,
here because there have been quite a few, and folks have really enjoyed this talk. I think we may have hit an all-time concurrent viewer number like high for us. We were at
oh,
damn
really?
near 300 concurrents, which is
Wow, great to know.
pretty good.
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
So we've got a couple questions here. Michael in Zoom would like to know. What languages are available for your courses, like English, Italian, whatever? Have you released any of these in other languages other than English? And if not, have you considered doing so in the future?
So mostly it's English, and I believe the service we use, they do automated translation. So like it's not, we did not actually translate it, but the service we use, they actually do it. So it might not be good, it might be good. I'm not really sure.
But the service, the automatic translation, just so everybody knows, it would be through captioning, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. It's not the AI translation where you start
Not
speaking.
yet.
No,
Not yet.
That's
Yeah.
coming though.
no,
That's
no.
coming.
Oh yeah,
It's
definitely,
coming. Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Definitely.
Yes, and some people are asking where they can find the recording of this. You can find all the episodes soon of OpenCV Live on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@OpenCVOfficial. This recording is already there. You can watch it at any time. We've got Eddie Heffernan would like to know, is there a big difference in writing code for quadcopter type drones versus fixed wing type drones?
Well, when it comes to programming, definitely there is, it depends on the SDK that the company is providing. But definitely, if you're flying a plane compared to a quadcopter, there will be a lot of difference in terms of programming.
Partly just because of the ways that they're able to move is significantly
Yeah,
different, and so the
yeah,
commands you
the
would have
number
to
of
send.
motors,
Yeah,
the controllers, yeah,
that
everything
totally makes
is pretty
sense.
much different. Yeah.
Awab would like to know, do you have any recommendations for first year projects that are, visually interesting, such like your robot arm project? Any thoughts for the folks out there who are in that phase of university themselves?
I would say I haven't seen a very good implementation of LLM models with a little bit of animation. So the idea would be to have a simple screen. So for example, if I want to talk to Einstein, I could go on a website and talk with Einstein. But then if I can have the image of Einstein and he is actually animating it while he's speaking, then that is something that I would, it falls under the umbrella of what do you call university projects, but it will be something really fascinating to see.
Great suggestion, great suggestion. Um, Ramsey has a really interesting question here that I think I saw this on the YouTube channel. I also saw this on our LinkedIn channel, asking about the how do you feel like YouTube videos like such as yours, or even simpler ones where they're maybe like doing like live coding and things like that. Do you feel that those types of content are really valuable for someone's portfolio if they're just trying to get into the industry? Or do you think they should maybe spend their time elsewhere?
So do they mean making it or watching
Yes,
it?
making it. Yeah.
Oh, definitely. So that's what I did. So I had a lot of students, and every semester we had more students coming in, and I had to retrain them, teach them about coding. So what I did was I put everything in GitHub first, but that was not enough because, it's difficult to understand someone else's code. So then what I did was I actually started uploading on YouTube. And then if somebody would ask me, how exactly can I do this part? I would just send them the link. Okay, check out that video. So I would say it's never a bad idea to archive. So always archive your code, always archive in terms of videos as well. In fact, I had a website back in 2012 or 13, which was not paid. It was a free website, and pretty much archived everything what I did. I put it there, and it's still online. Maybe I'll share the link.
That would be interesting to see, and I couldn't agree more, by the way, partly because that's something you control. Like that's something that you have, access
Yeah.
to. If YouTube decides to delist you or whatever, you still have all of that stuff. You don't have to worry about someone else keeping it for you. And in the end, that's the only way you can be sure that it will be available to others later. So,
Right.
highly recommend, having your own
Do you
kind of
mind if I
archive
show
and
it?
stuff too. Yeah, please
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, so that's the website. So you can see it's through wix.com. And this was the website. And if you went to projects, you would see the list of all the projects I did back then. And I just added the code. This was the CNC I was talking about, the big one. So these are all the projects, and the Huff transform. This was one of the projects we were given in our master's degree, that you can't use the actual Huff transform from OpenCV. You have to create your own
You got to write
function.
one. Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a fun one. So all these, so if you ask me, there's no use of this right now, but to me, this was something very motivating, and I used to do it a lot, that I would do projects and just put them and archive them somewhere,
Right.
whether it's a
No, and,
website or YouTube.
And now you can look back
yeah.
as
And I
well.
also feel that,
Yeah.
today, if you want to have a career in computer vision and AI, you have to demonstrate skills, right? Skills are more important than years of experience because, nobody has years of experience, right?
Yeah.
But to demonstrate skills, you have to show these kinds of things. And it also speaks to your presentation skills also, right? How you presented your work. And that's very important
Exactly.
for companies, even if you're not doing video presentations at the company itself. The fact that you can communicate what you have built effectively, that is a skill of in high demand, right? That
Definitely.
you're not only a good engineer, you're also able to communicate. And
Yeah,
these kinds of
communication
things
is
are very
everything.
useful. Yeah.
I guess the
Absolutely.
term portfolio is very
Yeah.
important here,
Yeah.
that you need to create a portfolio that
Yeah.
showcases whatever you have done
Yeah.
in the past years.
Absolutely agree. Speaking of portfolios, Stia, we've got some ongoing work here with OpenCV where folks can improve their portfolios by joining OpenCV for Google Summer of Code. Would you like to talk a little bit about GSOC?
Yeah. So I think the deadline is coming up March
Sure is.
18th. We have a group, a Google group where you can go
That's
and
right.
join and ask
Mhm.
questions, talk to mentors, and that that improves your chances of getting selected. So at least introduce yourself. If a mentor is interested, they would pick you up, message you for a particular project. But I think the deadline is March 18th or
The
so for this.
18th. Yep.
Yes, yes. So please go and check it out. This is for students all around the world who are interested in getting into Google Summer of Code. So Google Summer of Code is this program by Google, which they select organizations where students can do internship, and OpenCV has been selected as it's been selected for many years. So OpenCV will be assigned something like 10 slots, right? It's not decided yet, but something like 10 slots where students, we will assign a mentor, and then you could work under the mentor. And depending on which project you like, you should mention that. You should join this group, mention it, and one of the mentors would pick you up.
Yes, this year also CVAT, the computer vision annotation tool, is part of Google Summer of Code as well. So
Yeah, that's great.
a couple different ways to help the OpenCV community there, and help out your early portfolio by joining Google Summer of Code. Good luck out there to everybody. I'd also like to briefly mention OpenCV has a merchandise store. Everybody, did you know that? Did you know that? It's not a secret. You can go here and buy OpenCV shirts, pins, bags, buttons, pet bandanas. I'm very disappointed in all of you for not showing me pictures of your animals with OpenCV pet bandanas on them. I need you to resolve this issue immediately by going to opencv.myspreadshop.com and picking up some of this swell merchandise designed by me. In fact, we've got 3 different flavors of the I Love OpenCV logo here in English, Simplified Chinese, and en Espanol. So check that out. There's often sales on here, so you might, today doesn't have one, but it's very likely that in the next few days there'll be another, say, 15 or 20% off sale. So check out the store often, buy something there. That is about all I've got for today. Folks were asking,
Does this ship, sorry.
Yeah.
Does it ship international?
Yes,
The
absolutely.
store.
Yep, it ships all over,
Nice.
basically
I'll get
anywhere they're
one.
allowed to. And there's often free shipping sales on here as well. So if you live somewhere that's maybe far afield from the shipping warehouse, you might wait until they have free shipping on there. So yeah, please check it out. Show your support. If we see you wearing an OpenCV shirt at, say, for example, CVPR, you will get a free OpenCV pencil and the sticker just for being so cool and repping OpenCV. So we're trying to make it worth your while, folks. Mortaza, if people want to follow you on the internet, where should they go to see what your thoughts on an ongoing basis?
So you can go on YouTube and write Mortaza's workshop. You will find me there, or you can even write OpenCV, and hopefully you'll find a video or 2 of mine.
We're
So
gonna
you
have to be
can find
fighting
me
for the
there,
top
and
the fight for the top couple spots for that OpenCV search term on
yeah, I
YouTube.
can see you guys. Yeah, you
We're
are
coming up,
rising
we're
at the
coming up
top.
behind you.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely. With that said, Satya, you want to take us home?
I have one other thing today evening, 6 p.m. Pacific time. We are having a pretty long webinar, 3-hour maybe. It goes, with the comments, etc., with the question, answer, etc. It goes on for 3 hours. This is for people who are interested in a career in computer vision and AI, right? I'm going to give a talk, and then there will be a long Q&A session. So please join.
How can people join that?
Yeah, let me share it in the comment section. In the chat, you can
I
see
see it
that.
right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, please join. That's all I wanted to do in terms of announcements. Now,
Is it on YouTube as well, or?
This is not going to be on YouTube. This is live webinar, and that's about
Zoom
it.
only.
Yeah.
So it'll be on Zoom then.
Right.
It would be on Zoom. Yes.
All right.
Great.
Yeah, check that out, folks. It's
All right.
It's apparently more free content out there. So
yeah. So thank you so much, Mortaza. It was a pleasure seeing this, and I'm motivated to buy the courses whenever you launch on Kickstarter for my kids, as well as I'll learn it myself. So it's going to be a fun experience, and I wish you all the best. Please let us know when the Kickstarter campaign goes live. Wish you all the best for the Kickstarter campaign. Very excited.
Thank you.
To have that.
Thank you very much. It was an honor being on the show, and I had a lot of fun. And the last thing, if you don't mind, I would say that whoever is learning, trying to start, definitely start right away. Don't wait for the right moment. Just get started, and you will find your path as you go along. And it's never too late to start. So go ahead and start your journey right away, whether it's with drones, whether it's with robots or computer vision. Just get started and hopefully you will learn a lot along the way. Thank you very much.
Excellent.
What a
Excellent.
great message to end the show there. Take care of yourselves out there, folks. Take care of somebody else if you can. As our guest said, starting is the hardest part, so start today. We will see you next week with OpenCV AI competition prize winner Caitlin Gann and their project OpenCV for exoplanet detection. That will be a real treat. We will see you then.